in order to pull the switch to make that movie, it's not do I want to make a movie? It's like, what do I want to spend the next 5 years of my life doing? And I think with film, that's very interesting because there's not a lot of careers where you have to say, boom, the next 5 years of my life is going to be this.
It's like joining the service.
Yeah, it is, actually.
It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
And it is Car Con Carne, the world's only food podcast, recorded in a car. That car is perched right outside Club Lago in the River North area of Chicago. A favorite of mine, and now sitting shotgun, I have Chris Fetchko. He is the writer, director, and producer of the excellent new movie All in Time. Hello, Chris.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. And in the back seat, I have Guido, the co-owner of Club Lago, the man responsible for the food we're eating tonight.
Good evening, one and all.
Guido, I met you years ago. I fantasized about having you in the backseat of my car, and here we are.
See, there are so many ways that's going to go, and I'm just going to back off and let you keep on running the show here.
And Chris, you're in town. You're not from Chicago. You're from Pennsylvania.
I moved here when the Chicago's gotten the World Series.
Right, way to bandwagon it.
Yeah, that's what I decided to do.
So you're actually in town, and obviously by the time this releases, it'll be after the fact. But you are going from city to city.
Right.
You're working the new movie hard.
Right.
So as we're recording this, you're screening at Landmark Century Theater.
Yeah, you said co-director. I have a co-director, co-writer, co-producer, Marina Donahue. So we're kind of splitting it up right now. She's up at the screening. And quite frankly, I'm sick of seeing the movie because we've seen it like a million times by now.
Do you see imperfections
in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's never really done, is it?
No. They there's a term in the music business or the film business. You never finish a movie. You just stop working on it.
I think that's true of music.
Yeah, everything. Yeah,
writing.
Yeah. So no, but we're doing a promotional tour that we booked 6 months ago, and this was our Chicago date. And my plane ticket was booked, and I flew in the afternoon of Game 7, and couldn't have timed it any better.
How about it?
Yeah.
So and if you're in that area, that area went upside down.
Oh yeah, it was great.
We're recording this the day after the Cubs won the World Series, which was surreal. It's still surreal to say.
Yeah, no, there's a vibe in the city that's just like people are just like floating.
Well, it's interesting. I was walking around downtown today. And I'm a Sox fan, but I appreciate the fact that the Cubs won the World Series. I wanted them to go all the way. Let's do this. It's been 108 years. But walking around downtown, everyone was talking about it. People around me, the women behind me, how late were you up? Oh, I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning. The guys in front of me, oh, could you believe Rizzo did this? Right. It was the conversation that everyone was sharing, whether it was on social media, on TV, in Wrigleyville. Everyone had that shared experience, and it was pretty cool.
Right. And what was interesting about it, too, is, and I don't want to get all spiritual or whatever, but whoever's controlling things had to put the rain delay in. Right?
Well, as a director and writer, you have to appreciate that.
I mean, you can't write it. You can't write that story. It's like it was just like they made it. We were in a sports bar. I forget which sports bar it was, but we were in a sports bar watching the game, and I had no stakes. I'm a Phillies fan. I'm a Philly guy all the way. But it was like they were up 6-3 and come back. They tied it, and everybody's freaking out. And then the rain delay happened, and it was just like, how late are we going to be up, number one? Because everybody's like, should I go to work? Should I not go to work? Whatever. And it was just awesome. You couldn't have wrote a better script.
For real. All right, so Guido in the backseat. Club Lago. Give us some quick Lago history.
Quick Lago history. 3-generation Italian restaurant in River North, same location since 1952. Good old joint, sort of no-nonsense place, not a whole lot of razzle-dazzle, but you walk in and you're kind of time warped back to the 50s.
Which I love. And when you walk into Lago, it doesn't have that River North tourists pouring in and out of there. It feels like a local place dropped into River North.
Right.
It feels like a Chicago place.
If we do it right, the people who come in the first time they're there, they feel like they're regulars.
Well said.
Well said, yeah. Well said. Do you actually use the cash registers? register?
The cash registers that you saw when we were just in there having our medicinal whiskey are actual used. Yeah, those are.
So what happens if you have the chip credit card? Like, where do you put that in the cash register?
Well, I'll show you once we're out of the. Okay.
Because I want to see how the 50s meets the 2016.
No, we have suffered into the modern era taking credit cards, but we still do have the.
I love that cash
old
register.
registers.
That's really. I want to get a picture.
Actually,
of that.
funny story about the registers. There are like 2 places in Chicago that still service those because they're actual. They're machines. And, this guy Alfini, who is in his 80s, shows up with 2 young guys, and they wheel in an old, well-maintained demo. And they give us that one when something's wrong, if there's an electrical short or something's wrong with ours, and they take ours out, and those things are 60 pounds. I mean, they're really, really heavy. So they take that, they put it on a dolly, and they wheel it out, and then they bring this, this backup, and we use it, and we'll call them 3 weeks, 4 weeks later. Hey, Alfini, how's our cat? Yeah, I'm getting around to it. It's coming around, but it's sort of what the market will bear. There are only a couple of guys who are still fixing them, so we suffer through.
So is there like infighting within the family about when do we get rid of the cash register and just go completely digital, or does everybody agree that that's like?
While I think an argument could be made about plenty of infighting, the cash register isn't one of the points of contention.
Well, maybe what's inside the cash register.
There you go. That's it.
That's always been. I've always had this worry that there's going to be a morning I show up and my brother has been up like for 48 hours straight, and he's just pillaging the cash registers. I'll be back in 3 weeks. But no, so far that hasn't happened.
All right, so Guido, I want to make sure while Chris is here in town, while his movie's taking off, that he's well fed and carb loaded. We put ourselves at your feet and said, teach us, show us the way. Tell us about Club Lago. What are you feeding us tonight?
So we've got 2 different things. Everybody's got his own lunch bag.
Wait, where's your lunch? Dude, these are gigantic.
Yeah, this is not.
There's
if you
just
finish
2 of
these, you're going to go to sleep. If you finish both of these, you're going to sleep.
I had to lose weight for this movie.
So
and
here's
now
what this is.
I'm feeling my jeans again.
So one of them's cold, one of them's hot. This is the Guido sandwich and the Gus sandwich.
Wait, which is which?
The thinner cold one is the Gus, named after my grandpa. That's a classic cold cut sandwich.
Okay.
Okay.
Salami, prosciutto, lettuce, tomato, onion, little house dressing, little provolone cheese. Delicious and not cooked.
Right.
The other is the Guido, which is really just a hog, and my experience is leave it
crap.
in its tinfoil, hold it
thing.
sort of like a burrito.
Yep.
It's meatball, roast beef, and Italian sausage, and they're all braised in the same peppers and onions, and then packed in the sandwich with melted cheese.
Where's the bread come from?
Bread, the best Italian bakery in Chicago. We have that's a longer story than the James Van Ostel experience can carry, but it's D'Amato's.
Bread's very important.
Bread is. Hey, I'm talking to a Pennsylvania guy who knows his stuff about. Well, if you're is it Harrisburg?
No, but I know where Harrisburg is. I'm from Hazleton. You know where that is?
Forgive me, I was cheating and looking on your IMDb.
Oh, yeah. Hazleton is starts with H. Harrisburg is the capital, which is easy mistake. But that's all right. But yeah, I'm from kind of the Scranton area.
Right.
So people know Scranton from The Office. So
we do.
That's kind of.
We had a bartender, Rob, from Scranton, so we got regularly schooled on the ignorance of people talking about the difference between Philly and Pittsburgh and not knowing.
And then the rest of the state.
Right.
It's like Philly, Pittsburgh, and then Alabama.
Wait, Chris, be careful. He warned you. Eat it like a burrito. Your
bread is important. You speak the truth.
If you take it out of the tinfoil, you're asking for trouble.
I know.
If you're going to go to Century after this, you need to not have crumbs and oil on you.
Yeah, this is true. I might have to have a spare shirt in my bag that I have to pull out.
I usually carry a Tide stick with me. It's kind of like my version of the
This
EpiPen.
is awesome.
This is ridiculous.
Wait, are we supposed to eat both of them at the same time?
I think if you don't want to disrespect them, you eat both of them.
No, but is it like one bite of the hot and then one bite of the cold? What's the proper way to do this?
You take them down one at a time, right?
Yeah, I believe you should try a little bit of the first, then maybe tinfoil that bad boy up and try one of the other one.
And then you go back like an hour later. And go,
Dude, this Guido is ridiculous.
Road trip material.
This is good stuff.
Oh my God.
Wow. It's really good.
This is really good.
I didn't sign the waiver about getting the oil all over the microphone, so I believe the
so-
insurance contract.
There's 2 sandwiches and 4 napkins in this bag, which is very important.
Oh, good. I got napkins.
Because
Oh, wait, no, I don't have napkins. I need to steal one of
you got
yours.
screwed.
Please.
Here
Thank
you
you. Oh, here we go.
I think these sandwiches should require, there should be a law that they come with 3 napkins.
Yeah, because really, who are
because-
we kidding here?
Let's be honest here. If I wanted a burrito, I'd go get a burrito. So I want to eat this like a hoagie. You know what do they call them hoagies?
We
out
don't
here?
call them hoagies
What do you
here.
call them
We
here?
had
call
our
them
subs.
Subs.
They're called hoagies. This is the
In-
best hoagie I've ever had.
This meatball is, wow. Guido, well done.
Glad you enjoy them.
Very good.
Oh, man.
Very good.
Welcome to Chicago. We're going to fatten the shit out of you.
No, I know. Seriously, I got to stay in my good clothes for this promo tour, and now I'm starting to feel my jeans that I'm actually wearing them, which is not a good thing. This is really good, though.
All right, so let's talk about the movie while you have food in your mouth.
Okay.
It seems to me this is a classic example of write what you know. You're a lot of this is you putting your life on the screen. Give us some background on it.
Well, when my if you would have told me in high school that I would be a film director when I'm, what am I, 22 years old right now? No, I'm kidding. I'm 42. I have no problem telling people how old I am. But if you would have told me that when I was in my 40s I'd be directing a movie, I would have said you're crazy. And I always loved music. I loved music more than film. I'm a child of the 90s, so Bon Jovi got me through puberty, basically. It's not necessarily the greatest musical upbringing, but it's what I had to work with. You know? MTV was very influential in my adolescent years, and it was the hair band age, and what can I tell you? So my dream, literally when I went to college, and I'm not joking, was to be Bon Jovi's accountant.
His
I knew I didn't.
accountant?
Yeah, because I knew I didn't have any talent. I could play guitar. I could play like 5 chords on the guitar, but I couldn't grow the hair long. It would just turn into this afro kind of thing. So I'm like, all right, I can't do the band thing. I'm good at math. What are my options? So I figured I'd go to school to be an accountant, and I can get into the music business on the business side of it, because I just wanted to be around it. I'd go to concerts, and I'd be more fascinated with the road cases and the buses
That's amazing.
than the actual music. You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to be a part of that world.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and not to be backstage to meet the people, but I just was like the lights and the sound guy and what, you know.
Well, it's so funny. You mentioned the road cases. Like, the road cases, or you use road cases for the opening credits of your movie.
Right. I love road cases. So basically, in college, I'm from Pennsylvania, as we said. I went to Syracuse University. Is it rude that you're talking while you're eating? How's that?
It is what it is, dude.
I mean, God. Like, everything I've ever learned is just going out the window in this podcast. So anyway, I went to college in Syracuse, New York. Driving around, this is 1995. I hear this song on the radio called Fear of Falling. Didn't know who the band was, just heard the song on the radio. And those were the days back in the 90s where you heard a song on the radio and you went to the mall, you drove to the mall, and you went to the record store,
Yeah.
and you sang the song in the most accurate way possible,
That is so true.
right?
Yeah.
Like, this is the song I'm looking for, and the guy behind the counter, or girl, would basically judge you because you can't sing.
Right.
Right? And then you'd try to have this, like, figure out what the song is conversation.
I remember working on the radio at Q101 in Chicago. I would have record store employees call me and have customers sing over the phone.
Right.
Exactly what you're saying. Like, I don't know what this is. They said they heard it on this radio station.
Right. So that happened to me with this song called Fear of Falling by a band called the Badlees. Badlees. And drove to the mall, heard the radio song, drove to the mall. We figured out who it was. Boom, bought the CD. It lived in my... Those were the days when CDs lived in your player.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that? Remember those days where...
Absolutely.
Now it's like, you just, random, whatever. this CD called River Songs by this band called the Badlees was the soundtrack to my senior year of college. I absolutely love this band. Right now, I know they're not the Beatles or not. You know, I get the perspective, but they
connected with you.
I connected with this band. I had no idea they were from Pennsylvania. This was pre-internet, so pre-cyber stalking, you know, pre-looking up IMDb and getting people's hometowns wrong and all that kind of stuff, right? So slowly but surely, as the internet started coming around, I started realizing, you know, they were touring. They were like touring with the Allman Brothers and Bob Seger and doing their whole. They were on a label called Polydor Atlas.
Right. Atlas was like a fake indie label. That was a thing in the '90s where some of the majors would create these imprints to give the illusion that they were indie labels, which allowed them to pass off their artists as something different and underground.
So little did I know, this band was from Pennsylvania. Which means that there's 5 guys in the band, and there's 5 separate hometowns, but that means you're from Pennsylvania. You know what I mean?
Right.
Totally. The way it's spread out. So, I'm in New York, working as an accountant. The first time I ever saw the band, I ran home, took off my suit, ran down to a club in New York called the Bottom Line, which is closed, which was an infamous club. It's now closed, but at the time it was open. Saw the band in concert. Literally waited outside with the friggin' poster, getting everybody to sign the thing, and I just was like a fan. I was just like, I saw them live. It was, you know, even that much better. You know, music is about live. I mean, the music business. We could have a whole podcast on where the music went, but a live band actually exceeding a record is a special thing. You know what I mean?
Completely agree.
And when you have that happen, it takes it to the next level. You know, not to put it in relationship terms, but it goes from like in like to in love.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like these guys are for real. They could pull it off. What I've been hearing in my CD player for the last 6 months. You know, so that happened, and then all of a sudden their career started tanking. Like nothing was happening, and I was like, what the hell is going on? I was frustrated. And long story short, my roommate and I in college started writing scripts for fun, and we decided in 1998 to write a movie called Everything's Jake that has nothing to do with the Badlees, nothing to do with anything. Quick plug for that movie. And my dream was to call their manager and get their end credit, get their song in the end credits to try to help. I was a frustrated fan that I wanted to help. And what was happening was they started playing more and more in Pennsylvania as their career started going downhill. So I would go back to Pennsylvania every weekend and see these guys play. Never talk to them or anything. And then, long story short, eventually I quit a job in Manhattan and I went back home to manage my favorite.
I feel like I'm watching your movie right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Did you watch it?
I did.
You see the movie? Yeah, okay, so you saw it. So I quit a good job in New York to go home and quote-unquote manage this band because they're the best fucking band in the world, excuse my language, and the world needs to know about them.
I love that.
And that's what the seed of this whole conversation is.
By the way, Guido, I made a mess of myself.
Is it okay if I just cursed? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I've made a total mess of myself. That sandwich is ridiculous. What I love, this is what I love like about Italian beef sandwiches, is when the bun gets kind of soaked. Yeah. Gets that au jus and all that kind of in
Wet.
there. It gets soft.
Term in the business is wet.
The cold sandwich is sitting here saying, what the hell's going on with me, though?
Yeah, I know that.
So, yeah, we got to move on to the other one, the Gus. You guys got to give it a try.
I'm going to wrap up some of this.
Challenge accepted.
This is going to put me to sleep tonight at 11:30.
So Chris was talking actually about the bread, and these are two completely different. I won't use the term hoagie because they'll throw me out of the Midwest.
Really?
If we ever,
It's literally called sub, right?
Sub sandwich, hoagie, and then hero, and then poor boy. Those are those are, as if I'm not mistaken, all different derivations of the same animal.
Oh, I love the
Okay,
meats.
because this is a podcast, nobody's gonna see me taking the onions off.
I
'cause
see
don't
you
like
removing the onions. I'm watching you
I don't
remove
like
the onions.
You got to go in public after this. I get it.
I gotta go. No. I just don't like onions. I have a problem with it. But that's
This
all right.
is a much more manageable. This bad boy
All right,
won't
it is.
drip. It's a much more controllable thing.
I could fit this in my mouth and everything.
So
is good.
Charlie, in your movie, Charlie is you.
Mm-hmm.
He is your avatar
Pretty
in
much.
this film.
Yeah.
So, did that make it hard knowing that? I mean, this is an expression of your experience. Was it hard to cast for that? Were you too particular?
No, I mean, well, here's what happened. So I basically quit my job, moved home. I literally had my dream job. I loved every minute of my day. However, I wasn't making any money.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Met this girl. She was a big music fan. So I actually never really had to take her out. I just drug her along to concerts. And it was like great because I didn't have to take her out. It was just like, come to, we're going to play the Hard Rock in Pittsburgh this weekend. She followed us along and I wouldn't have to be a full-time boyfriend on the weekends. I could do everything. And the band started falling apart. There's various versions of why it's too long for this podcast, but the band I always say, when you look at a band, there's 5 guys. If you do the math, that's 25 different relationships that you have to manage, right?
That's totally accurate.
So, in order for a band to work, you have to have 25 relationships all going in the same direction. So, let's just cut all that out. Band wasn't working. My life was completely falling apart because I bet everything on this band.
You went all in.
I went all in, and at one point, I told the girl the band was more important than her. I even think I said I'm in love with the band more than you, which is not a good thing to say.
I'm so confused because this is also kind of in the movie.
Yeah, it's in the movie. It's pretty much kind of word for word in the movie, which kind of sucks because he's a real dick in the movie. And I watch it, and I'm like, oh, God.
Because as I'm listening to you, I'm like, wait, that was in the movie. Are we talking about the movie or are we talking about your life?
Right. So, what happened was, Hallmark doesn't make a card that says, I'm sorry for saying that the band is more important than you. So I had no way out of this situation. So it makes for a good movie, but kind of a bad month, And so in the middle of all this, I was going back and forth between managing bands, making movies, blah, 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 blah. I wound up making a second movie. And I wound up managing another band. And I always wanted to write a movie about the music business because it drives me crazy. Absolutely crazy. When you watch a movie and a band is lip syncing and you could tell.
I agree.
Or you walk into two people walk into a club, they show the band on stage playing and it's loud and they're playing really, and then the two people walk into a restaurant, all of a sudden the music dips down and they start talking like, hey, what do you want to drink? Like they're in like confession. I'll use a little Catholic term here, but so I'm like, no, that's not the way it is. You scream, what do you want to drink? I'll meet you over there, and it's a process. When you go to a bar, you got to figure it out when there's a live band playing. So I always wanted to write a movie about that, and then I went through this breakup, and every time I go through a breakup, I write movies about it, and I'm going to be the Taylor Swift of independent film, I think. And but I
That's
knew
a good tagline.
Oh, he's the master of the elevator pitch. And that's
right.
just the business.
Yeah. So I shelved the idea because I knew when you make an independent film, you got to do something special. Jennifer Aniston's not going to be in your movie if it's the same movie that she can get paid $3 million to make.
Exactly.
So I shelved the idea, and there's a big twist in our film. And about 4 years later, I discovered this twist, which I can't talk about, unfortunately. It would be a spoiler. And then I wrote the script. I wrote the first draft of the script, which is very autobiographical. And then I met Marina Donahue, who knew nothing about anything in terms of my life. So she was a complete neutral. My mom, of course, would take my side, or you know what I mean, and my best friend had his version. You have all these jaded people in your life that support you through things, but Marina came in and was like, okay, I don't care what really happened, let's make a good movie. You know, so she was great because it's not an autobiographical piece about me. It's not an autobiographical piece about the band, but it's inspired by that. So Marina and I's partnership was great because she brought it to a level of, okay, Chris, this isn't a journal entry. This is you know, so it was good for us to have a working relationship like that.
I love it. By the way, the Gus is delicious. What kind of meat is that?
Yeah.
Sorry, you caught me
It happens.
with my mouth full. There's a
Salami?
little Volpe salami and prosciutto.
Yeah, it's the prosciutto. Oh, man. Oh, boy.
This is good.
Yeah,
Guido,
I like
what are your
this.
thoughts on basil? You like basil?
Basil is a strong taste. I like basil, but it will done wrong. It messes with
Really?
a dish. Like, okay, so pesto.
Yeah,
Pesto is pretty much all basil. Basil
Right.
and pine nut, full stop.
Right.
I love it, but you can take. Here are the classic two Italian sauces: tomato sauce and meat sauce in general on pasta. Tomato sauce and basil go hand in glove. You put basil on meat sauce,
You got
and
problems.
all you taste is the basil. It's straight. It's like any of those strong ones. Cilantro.
I hate cilantro, actually. I can't
I hated cilantro until I discovered Indian food, and then somehow I fell in love with cilantro. I
Interesting.
hated cilantro.
So here's
but
what I like about basil, because I'm single and I don't have any like actual like utensils in my place. Like you can get a tomato. I have a knife, so you get a tomato, mozzarella cheese, and basil and olive oil, and you could have yourself a really good Italian.
Yeah, you
dish.
get a
and you don't have to
caprese
know how to
salad going
cook.
there.
Yeah.
And even you could pull it off with a girl at your house or whatever. You'd be like, hey, I made something nice, and it really all I did was cut up things.
That-
So the basil is good for me on that.
You're
So-
preaching to
All
the
I did
choir.
was
I'm
cut
with
up
you.
things.
Yeah, you don't have to cook anything, so that's good.
Thinking more about the movie and music in general, I mean, you nailed it. The indignities of being a regionally successful act, not a band that hasn't quite broken. The band's name was misspelled on a marquee, and the response they get is something like, "Sorry, we needed the L for coleslaw."
Right, it actually happened. Yeah.
That was real.
That was a real story. Yeah, it didn't happen with me managing them, but it happened to the band. I put it in the movie.
Because that is total Spinal Tap. That is Puppet Show and Spinal Tap.
I mean, there was days when we're going through that now with our screenings. Like, we premiered the film in New York, and it was a huge event. And then sometimes we go into a city, and it's really low key, and it's a roller coaster ride. So there was days where they were playing to 20,000 people with Greg Allman in an arena opening up for Greg Allman, and then they're playing to 5 people in Minneapolis. Building it. So it's like, you got to look at the long term,
Exactly. Well, having navigated through the music business and really seen all angles of it, how has it been navigating through the movie business? As you're putting this film out there, you're going city to city,
Right.
working the independent circuit. I'm assuming there are a lot of similarities.
It's very similar, but what's interesting about film is that the commitment is bigger, meaning a band could put out a record in a shorter period of time. It's less money, it's less time to do it. A film is like a 4 or 5, 6 year endeavor, even if everything goes right. We've had we hit some road bumps, along the way making this film, just like every other independent film art. But I mean, we literally have been working on this film since 2009. We finished it in 2014, and it was done. But we were on the festival circuit for a year, and then you got to go and you got to put it out commercially, So I only want to make movies that I like. Like, I can't imagine doing this if I didn't believe in the movie, because the time frame, I guess money would maybe change it, right? If you're getting paid $20 million, you make a movie about a fish, and you spend 5 years of your life doing it, right? But my
it's
point,
$4 million a year.
yeah, right. I mean, but it's it's got to be a labor of love, because that's the only way to get through it. I mean, as fun as it is traveling around and stuff, it's because we love the movie. Marina and I love the movie, and if you don't love it, I think that's where you'll peter out, kind of thing, And my next film that I'm starting is very very personal, very autobiographical, and it's like in order to pull the switch to make that movie, it's not a do I want to make a movie. It's like, what do I want to spend the next 5 years of my life doing? And I think with film, that's very interesting because there's not a lot of careers where you have to say, boom, the next 5 years of my life is going to be this.
It's like joining the service.
Yeah, it is, actually. Yeah, I almost went to the Naval Academy when I was looking at colleges because my dad was a big military guy, and I went and I got through the whole nomination process, and I got down there and I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. So it's like, how could I sign up for a 20-year or 10-year commitment?
Right.
And I bagged, and that's fine. My dad's fine with it. No.
So the love for the Badlees continues through this movie. Mm-hmm. When you approached the guys and said, hey, you want to be in this? Was there any pushback, or was it,
no?
Hell yeah, dude, whatever you want?
Well, there's I was managing the band, and then the guitar player in the band and we didn't get along. So I kind of left.
But you're so easy to get along with.
I know. I don't know what's the problem. Yeah. I don't understand. There's like 5 people that don't get along with me in the world, and one of them was the guitar player in my favorite rock band. What are the odds? This is God playing a practical joke at its highest level. But anyway, no, the guitar player is a good guy. Him and I actually still get along. He actually did a song already for my next movie, for my package. So he's a great guy. Most talented songwriter, Brett Alexander, most talented songwriter I know of, hands down. Look him up. You'll be amazed at what this guy does in 3 minutes with words. So anyway, I was managing the band, and then I left because I quit the band in real life, and then I started writing a movie. And at first, I was kind of like a revenge movie. Like I wanted to just write it, and I wanted to get like Train in the movie, or or Matchbox 20, or I'll show you guys, and then in the middle of it, I stayed in touch with the guys, and I sent them the script, and then the guitar player and we reconciled, so to speak, and the band all kind of got back together right in time to make the movie. So the band is actually in the movie.
Yeah.
The the drummer and the lead singer are the actual actors in the movie. And what we did, to get back to what I was saying about my pet peeves about movies, was we recorded all of the music live in the actual locations that we filmed in. And then we ran playback. When you actually film, you have to run playback and all that. So it comes off like a concert film. I hope you agree.
I agree.
The movie. It's like a concert film, but it's not a concert film. It's not The Last Waltz. But when the music happens, you're watching a friggin' concert.
It's not The Last Waltz, but Robbie Robertson could surely do some stuff with the Badlees.
Absolutely. The band is a huge. I mean, the Badlees play the weight at the end of every concert. That's like their tradition, because the band is their biggest influence, kind of thing. But so what I'm really proud about is we have a great love story. Women, men, everybody respond to it on some sort of universal level. But then I finally get to watch this music film that I love, because I love the music, number one, but also I feel, and I don't want to come off egotistical, I don't care if you think the movie sucks or not. I challenge anybody to tell me that the music doesn't come off accurately. It does. And that is what I'm most proud of, because the people are screaming over the music in the movie, hey, it's great to see you, kind of thing, because there's a concert going on, so that for me, in its own personal way, I get off on that,
Well, let's talk a little bit about Laura Shea.
Yeah.
That voice.
Yeah. So
where did you find her? I mean, because you've worked with her for a long time.
Yeah. Well, Laura Shea is another artist in the movie, and she. I'm not making this up. I went to a psychic when I went through this breakup that the movie was about. I literally was like 6 months in the fetal position. I didn't want to come out of my house, just eating Ben and Jerry's and.
See, if you lived in Chicago, you could eat Club Lago.
Exactly. I was just going to say.
Eat Guido's.
I would be on.
We've
Guido would be on.
Actually, right
on
next door. It's a one-stop shop.
It's Guido. Guido would be on speed dial, and I'd have the. Is it the Gus? Was the hot one?
The hot one's
Gus
the
was
Guido.
Cold.
Hot one's the Guido.
The hot one, I think I would have had probably 3 times a day.
You're not kidding.
We'd have it delivered to the psychic's offer.
This is good breakup food, man. I mean, it's good relationship food too. But if you're gonna break up with somebody, just go get a Guido. And There's fine. You're fine. You
My
don't even have
brother
to
and I
worry
would-
about it. You don't have to go to your therapist. Everything's fine.
We would take these wrapped in tinfoil to Hawks games and sneak them in our sleeves of our jacket. So we'd have, a small bottle of bourbon hidden in our hip, the breast pocket, and then 2 of these in our sleeves, and we didn't have to leave our seats. I mean, this was
That's the Chicago way right there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. But anyway, you asked about Laura Shea.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the psychic to kind of help me get through this friggin' depression I was in, and I went to her twice. I'm not proud of this moment, but it is what it is. And like, she found out that I was managing bands, and she gave me her CD because the drummer that played on this girl's record went to the same psychic, and she gave me the CD and I didn't even listen to it. Very similar to the movie. The guy just disregards it. And like 6 months later, I found it and I put it in, and I was just like, "Holy shit, this girl can sing!" And she's featured in the movie, and she doesn't want a career in music. She was in college at the time, and she's probably the smartest one of all of us here because she was like, "Let me get my degree," all that kind of stuff. So when I made the film. When I wrote the film, I literally had her music and the Badlees music in my earphones as I wrote it. So people almost think that the music was written for the movie, but the actual, in their soundtrack, I wrote a little kind of liner note kind of thing that says, I'd like to think this is one of the few movies, if not the only movie, that the soundtrack actually came before the movie.
That's cool. I like that. That's super cool.
Yeah.
If I were to pick out, there are different themes in the movie, but really the most elemental one I can identify is just following your dream.
Right.
Following your passion. It's so easy to get sidetracked working in a cubicle. I mean, we see right at the beginning, it sucks.
Right.
Working that soul-crushing desk job.
Yeah.
Follow your passions, and that's what you did.
Yeah. I mean, I literally, I don't want to go all like self-help here on anybody, but it's like when somebody says the words, "You know what I want to do someday?" That drives me absolutely crazy. It's a pet peeve of mine because if you say those words, if you have the energy to say those words, you have the energy to start thinking about planning to do it. So I speak to a lot of kids in high schools and stuff about making films and stuff. And all you got to do is literally, if you want to make a movie, you don't say, "You know what I want to do someday? I want to make a movie." All you got to do is say, "You know what I'm doing? I'm making a movie." That's the first step. That's the first step because once you
Mindset.
Once the first, you need to tell yourself that first before anybody else will believe you. So the theme, we're talking a lot about music and food and all that stuff, but you really, truthfully, the theme of the movie is, if I drop dead right now because I'm got a heart attack from all this great food and my cholesterol's through the roof, I love it. I literally have no regrets, like none, because you go after, you got to go after something. Whatever it is, you got to go after it.
I heard someone recently say this thing about business, but it's so true just in life. In business or in your career, do things that'll look good on your tombstone instead of your LinkedIn profile.
Right.
Like, it may look good for a resume, but is it something you want to be remembered for?
I mean, I always equate it to, I read a blog. I don't do a podcast. I admire you because I'm too technically challenged to do a podcast. But
dude, all I did was hit record.
I know, but I'm still, I know what I don't know. I wrote this blog, and one of my fantasies is, my grandkids going through the attic and discovering the films.
Yeah.
And your grandkids aren't going to discover some boring job in an attic somewhere. They might, get a business card or something like that. But
he was a great accountant.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, I'm not going to dodge accounting. I still do taxes for people because I got to pay the bills.
Can you come back in February?
Yeah, I could come back in February. What's the weather? What's the weather? The weather's not going to be as nice as this. But no, I'm not. Everybody has. There's got to be accountants. There's got to be insurance salesmen. Everything. But if that's what you love, then go for it.
Right.
But if you don't love it and you're just doing it to do it because you have to get through life, man, I feel sorry for you. Because it's like, and I think I'm lucky, and you are too, because we were talking before we got on air about passion and going after things, and it's like a lot of people it's not that they don't have the ambition, but they just don't know what their passion is. They actually don't know. It's so funny. Like if I always ask people, if you won the lottery, what would you do? And everybody says some bullshit. I'm going to go to some island. And it's like, if I won the lottery, I would work harder.
Right.
I would.
Oh, I can't imagine just being sedentary and
right. And it's because these people, when they don't have, Guido, if you won the lottery, you would probably take your food passion and blow it up 20 times.
I've actually have a long-seated fantasy of having limousines arrive at all my buddies' places, and as I put the down payment on the private island, everybody arrives at the airport at the same time, and once we get to the island, we figure out what our plan is going to be for the future. But the first weekend is just getting there and straightening it all out.
So you're going to build Guido Island
with basil. You're going to have basil?
Guido Island, I'm trying to... What
Basil
body
goes
of water?
You're going to have cilantro and basil growing on that island.
But I mean, to your point though, Guido, we walk into Club Lago. You're happy. You're greeting people. It seems like...
Yeah, you're not working.
It's so I love the concept, but it is work. I mean, there are times when I would love to duck
Me too.
This or that.
Me too.
So it is work, but it's what I love to do.
Right.
And
Exactly.
I don't know,
You don't think there's days when I get up and say, the last thing I want to do is work on this friggin' movie? But I love doing it. Just like anything. It's up and down thing. And what we're really, there's a price to pay, as you both guys can attest, to following something that you love. It doesn't go as you plan it. It never does, right?
And the key is being flexible.
And you got to go with the flow. And there's a theme in our movie about life's about the detours, and some girl told Marina that she just got the word detours tattooed on her arm because of our
the movie.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. And you got to be flexible, but you also got to be focused. You got to set a bullseye before you throw the dart. And for me, that's the most important thing that this movie's about. Is like, listen, man, you get one shot here. Play the hand you were dealt, and play to your fullest.
I love it. The movie is all in time. Highly recommended. You said it, but for a music fan,
yeah,
it's so much fun to watch.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like, I'm not gonna. Here's my little elevator pitch for you guys out there listening to go watch this movie. Of course, I'm gonna sit here and tell you it's a great movie. Who cares? I'm full of shit if I say that, because every filmmaker tells you that it's their best film, or the film's the best film. So I don't know if the film's good or bad. That's not my position. But here's what I can guarantee you. I can guarantee you two things. One, you're gonna appreciate the music in the film, regardless of the genre of music that you like. You're gonna appreciate that. And two, there's no way you're going to predict how this movie ends. Absolutely not. You will not. If you do, email me. I'll give you your money back. Those are the two things that I can guarantee you. So, I don't know. The movie might suck, but you'll at least get those two things out of it.
Well, it sounds to me like the elevator pitch, based on what you just said, it's really Cameron Crowe meets M. Night Shyamalan.
I think so. Yeah, that would be good. Actually, that's good. I like it. Yeah, I like Cameron Crowe. I like his movies. That's good.
All right, so All in Time, is this available video on demand?
Yeah, allintimefilm.com. It's available everywhere, video on demand, Amazon, iTunes, the whole thing. We're doing a 30-city tour. We're in Chicago, obviously, right now. We head to Baltimore next week, so we have a screening
good.
page.
So, people can still catch up with you.
Yeah,
And the beauty of a podcast is it's not just...
Yeah, no, we're gonna be in, I don't know, 10, 15 more cities. And obviously, from my standpoint, you got to go with the flow. You got to go with technology, like Guido did with the credit card machine. But
nice callback.
It kills me. It kills me to have people tell me that they watch this on their computer screen when you can see it on a big screen, because it's just a whole different experience.
It really is.
But so if I had my choice, everybody would have to see this movie in a movie theater. We do critics. Critics want to review the film, and it's painful sometimes because the critics are like, well, we'll only review it if you send us a DVD, which means they're laying in bed watching it, right, at night. And I'm like, oh, God, because it's a different movie when you see it in a group of people on a big screen.
Of course. Now,
So,
that said,
that being said, though, Go to Amazon, go to iTunes, rent it. Everything.
Watch it in bed.
Watch it in bed. It's awesome that way too. But if you live close to one of the cities we're coming to, get in a car and go to the theater.
Chris, I watched it on my computer.
Ugh, you're killing me.
Sorry. And all right, so we gave the website.
That's like putting basil on the sandwich. No, I'm kidding.
Dude.
No, I'm kidding. But do you like the movie?
I do.
Thank you. So just think about how much better it would have been if you sat on the big screen.
And I think you said it. Having that communal environment where you can laugh, head bob in unison, whatever. I mean,
Right.
the shared experience is what makes going to the movies great. Mm-hmm. I mean, yes, the big sound system, the big screen, but it is that shared experience.
Right.
And the same is true with live music, anything.
The movies are going to last because when VHS first came out, everybody thought the movie theater industry was over. And that was 1982 or 83. Mm-hmm. So you always have to ask a girl to go to the movies. You can't say to the girl, "Hey, do you want to rent iTunes and I'll watch it on my couch." So the movies will always be there. It's just the trend is going in that direction. So I have faith that people will always sit in a dark room and hear a good story. I don't think that'll ever go away, technology-wise. But just like anything else, it's a challenge to get people out of bed because it's so easy.
So true.
Yeah.
All right, so we gave the website. This is your world for the near future, and then you spend another 5 years diving into your next project.
Yeah, I'm doing another 5 years that I can't tell you what it's about because I'd have to shoot you.
I understand.
But I'm going to be the Taylor Swift of independent film. That's all I'm going to say.
Fantastic. I knew you were trouble when you walked in.
I know.
All right, so Guido in the back seat. Thank you very much. That's right. That's a radio career just synthesized into one line right there. Guido, this food was tremendous.
That's what we're here for.
I'm done with the cold one. I'm almost done
All right.
with it.
Well, the cold one minus the onions, but
Publicly, I'm ashamed to say I ate both. Privately, I'm very happy I ate both. I don't want to admit that I ate those two giant torpedoes, and they now currently rest inside of me.
I would like to say publicly and privately, I'm glad that I'm eating these in your car and not in my car.
Did you eat both of them, Guido?
I did. I was waiting for you boys. This is my dinner date. You guys are my dinner date. I was
that's
waiting for you
so
guys
pathetic.
to arrive. And
we need to work on this.
Well, the good news is Chris puts out.
Yeah, seriously. I'm. You don't even need to warm it up for me. I just take the cold sandwich and I'll put out.
This is
like, you don't
this is
even
our
need to-
Netflix and chill moment right
Yeah,
here.
right. Exactly.
Now,
Exactly.
Guido, Lago's open late, right?
We're open till if the Cubs win the World Series, we're open until when the last person stops drinking. But we're
What
open
time was
until,
that? What time
oh
was that
God,
last
last night was Herculean. We were there. I mean, the game ended. After the rain delay, the game ended. I want to say at around 12:30
It's just before
or
midnight.
something,
It's
but-
just before midnight.
Oh, was it before? We got out of there just before 2. It's a young man's game. This hosting and restaurateuring and.
It is.
But yeah, we're open till 10 and 11 on weekends. So we're not a 4 o'clock bar. There's not a.
Well,
club.
every 108 years you are.
That's right.
Right.
So
Well, here's the great thing about Lago. There are many great things. The menu items being the obvious one, but we're in River North, but we're in a pocket of River North where you can actually park your fucking car.
right.
It's easy to get in and out. We're parked right next door to the restaurant.
yeah.
Well, it's actually funny. The usurious parking rates sort of helped us because it used to be that people could camp out on the street because it only cost them $1.50 or something
Yeah.
to be there for 3 hours. Now it's so obscene that people don't stay. The spots on the street are always open. So that's been a good thing, and the city's making their money, so I'm sure they're happy.
Yeah, I paid $8 for the 2 hours. Which, you know what? For Chicago,
That's not bad.
Oh, I've maintained it's only going up. I mean, for people to complain about the parking rates is sort of ridiculous. I mean, I know this isn't the scope of what we're talking about, but yeah, please.
Let's get all political.
Only going
Let's
to get
talk
more
about
money.
politics. What about what's the parking structure to Chicago? Is
Well,
that on the election tomorrow?
would you need to know some quick background, Chris? The parking meter system in Chicago, controversial, subject of a lot of dissent and even some anger. Mayor Daley privatized the parking system.
Oh, wow.
I will say, I find it very easy to use. The app-based technology is wonderful.
There you go.
No, agree. I think His Honor
we're
would have
making-
sold the
making
air that we
progress.
breathe if he could have sold it before his term ended. But yeah, the parking app works. This area of River North, what is neat to me is that maybe just because I'm here so often, it's as neighborhoody as downtown Chicago gets. People know one another on the street. People,
Well, yeah, right on the other side of Orleans. I mean, it's residential.
yeah.
Condos and homes.
Right.
But not single-family homes. I mean, we're in 200-unit condo buildings and then some townhomes and whatnot. And for it to be as dense as it is, it's neighborhoody. It's pretty great. People walking their dogs, people BSing with each other on the street.
Or in the car right here.
Exactly.
Gentlemen, thank you. Guido, thank you for the sandwiches.
Yes, Guido. Thank you
Absolutely.
for the sandwich. Well, I got a half a sandwich left, which I will eat tonight. back
And
at
Chris,
the
thank
hotel.
you for your art.
Oh, thank you for having us. I appreciate it.